I think it's literally impossible for a Smash game to be releasing soon without some kind of leak or rumor happening in between. So we have a new one. Once again, it's another one from 4chan, and we're going to talk about what we think of this one and whether or not we think it's real. So let's just sit back and get into this one. So, just like any other rumor, speculative, leak video, you need to start off by saying it may not happen, it's very likely it's not going to happen, so don't expect anything that we talk about here to actually happen. Now, I like to look at rumors and leaks every once in a while because sometimes there actually is some kind of truth to it. And, I know some people get a little suspicious when they find out the leak came from 4chan, but here's the thing. As much as people like to shit on 4chan for a lot of the things that they do, you have to be honest. I have to be honest here and say the fact is that actual leaks have happened on 4chan before. Actual information has been leaked into 4chan many times before. So I don't really understand why people have this mentality of if it came from 4chan, it has to be fake. I understand that most of what they put out is fake, but you also have to understand that some of it, every once in a while, has been proven to be true. Now, with that being said, let's move on to just talking about the leak itself or the rumor and, see if it's good shit or not. So, we're going to start off by saying that I'm going to talk about whether or not I like the idea of the rumor and whether or not I think it's real. So, those are the two characteristics I'm looking for here. So, according to this, in July, we're going to get... Oh, yeah. That's also something else we need to talk about. They did not specifically name the characters that we're going to get. Instead, they kind of stuck to code names. I'm not sure if this is a way to try to avoid Nintendo's fucking team that would fuck his ass up and just fire this man or woman for leaking this shit. But it's just how they decided to do it. So whatever. Okay. So in July, apparently we're gonna get codename King and codename Ponytail revealed in a mini Nintendo Direct. Now that's this month, so whether or not we know this shit is real or not, it depends on whether or not we get a Nintendo mini Direct. If we do, then we have to look for these two characters, if we see two new Smash characters. Now, who the fuck could King and Ponytail be? Now, it's perfectly possible that Nintendo could choose code names that don't fit the characters at all, just to get people off the trail. Or these codenames could just be from the leaker themselves, and it could just be something he made up himself. We don't really know how far back the codenames go. It could be a Nintendo internal thing, or it could just be something the leaker made up. If it's something the leaker made up, then it would have to be something that actually is relative to the character. And if that's the case, then King, I think it's pretty obvious for a lot of people that King would be King K. Rool. And if it's true, that's cool. I support the idea of King K. Rool in the game. I actually really think King K. Rool would make a lot of sense. And Ponytail, I think, would probably be Dixie Kong. And my opinion on Dixie Kong, okay, I guess. She won't make me excited for the game or any more excited than I already am. She'll be cool. She'll be okay. I'll accept it. I won't be negative about it, and I won't be mad about it, but I'm not going to be hyped. I'll be hyped for King K. Rool, but not really Dixie Kong. I don't really care for Dixie Kong whatsoever. Now, in August, apparently we're going to get a character codenamed Old Man, and this character will be revealed at this year's EVO, which I think is going to be an interesting one, because that could indicate something about that. Now, if you don't know what EVO is, well, for one, clearly you don't play fighting games, and two, EVO, just to give a quick explanation, is basically just the world's biggest tournament. And if you're going to give the world's biggest tournament world's biggest fighting game tournament specifically, if you're going to give them an announcement, it probably is going to have to do with other fighting games. So a lot of people seem to believe that since Bandai Namco has one character represented in Smash, and Capcom and Sega have two, that it's possible that the Old Man could be referring to Heihachi from Tekken. And if that's the case, I'm going to be excited as fuck, because I've been playing Tekken since the first game. I only have memory of playing the third game, but I remember being told that we've also had the first two. So give or take. I was a child. I don't fucking remember everything that happened in my childhood, but from what I can remember, I started with Tekken 3, but I was told that as a baby I played like the first two as well, or like a young kid. But that would be cool. Heihachi is a really interesting character, especially with the storyline that happened in Tekken 7. Not gonna get into that for obvious reasons. Now, if that is the case, if it is true that we're getting Heihachi, that would be my most excited character up until that point. So, generally speaking, of course I support that. I'm definitely going to support that. But, do I think it's going to happen? Well, it depends. Sega and Capcom have 2 characters each. It's possible that Bandai Namco can have 2 characters as well. Like, it's not out of the question. We are seeing it happen. But it's hard to say whether or not it's possible. I'm going to go with the realm of possibility. I'm going to go and say that I think it is possible, considering we're already working with Bandai Namco. They're already working with Bandai Namco, excuse me. So, I think, they're already there. They already have a character in there. I think it's likely that it could happen. And if they were going to announce another fighting game character into Smash, then yeah, it's probably going to be at EVO. So, it's perfectly possible. I do think that the fact that it seems so likely or realistic might make it a little more obvious that it's fake, but hey, you never know. So we're gonna move on. Apparently in September we're gonna get codename Archer revealed in some kind of direct. People believe that it's going to be Decidueye. I honestly can't think of any other character. I mean, there's a lot of Archers in gaming, but if Nintendo is going to codename Archer, or if someone's going to reference a character from Nintendo as Archer, it's probably going to be the most popular grass starter of Pokemon. So yeah, it's probably going to be Decidueye if that's the case. And if that's true, then that's cool too. I will say I will be more excited for Heihachi in King K. Rool, but more excited for Decidueye than I would be for Dixie. So he'd be in the middle. I'd be kind of cool with that. I like that. Moving on, October is going to get the reveal of Secretary and Warrior. Secretary, people believe, is Isabelle, which I think would be okay. I would be more or less around the same hype levels as Dixie Kong. And Warrior, some people believe, will be Simon Belmont, since we had that other leak saying that Simon Belmont would get in the game along with Ridley and Ice Climbers, which the other two happen to end up being true. And if that's the case, holy shit, I will lose my fucking mind. You have no idea how much I love Castlevania. I fucking love that franchise, and I've been saying for years for fucking Travis Touchdown and Simon Belmont that I want him. If you look at my top 10 characters of Smash video, I said both Simon Belmont and Travis as my top 2. I want those characters. I want those franchises to be represented. And if there was a franchise from the NES era that needed the representation, that deserved the representation, it is Castlevania. So, God help me, if that is true, and we are getting Simon Belmont, I will lose my mind. So, fuck every other character so far that is rumored for this, according to this leak. If Simon Belmont is true, that is my number 1 character right there. And I will probably try to main him, implying that he isn't bottom tier or complete trash. But yeah, that will fucking be incredible. I would love that. But if we move on to November, we're going to get a character codenamed Mech in some kind of surprise announcement. Mech, I honestly have no fucking idea who it could be other than Elma from Xenoblade Chronicles X. And if that's the case, okay, cool, yeah, I would be very surprised as to why a character from X and not 2. But yeah, I'd be cool with that as well. I actually really liked Xenoblade Chronicles X. It's not my favorite Xenoblade by any means, but it was a good game. And if they were going to take anyone from that game, it would be her. So yeah, I would say that would be my 3rd place most excited character behind King K. Rool and Simon Belmont. So I support that. Now, if we move on to the other characters, apparently the leaker, I'm assuming these characters would be kind of like what Duck Hunt and, was it Duck Hunt, I believe, had this, and some other character, I can't remember off the top of my head, for Smash 4, where they had the reveal trailer for these characters after the game released, which was weird because that means we already knew who the characters were, but nah, whatever, fuck it, we already knew, right? So those characters, I'm assuming that's what these 4 are, because it mentions that we'll get reveal trailers post-release. But he doesn't specifically say DLC either. So people out like other YouTubers who are saying that this is gonna be DLC, these are DLC characters, I don't believe that's the case, because we got trailers for characters. I think it was Bowser Jr. It was Bowser Jr. and Duck Hunt, I believe, that got trailers when we already knew they were in the game because the game had released by then. So I think that's what this is. I believe that's what this is. I don't think it's DLC. I feel like he would have mentioned DLC if it was DLC. And that's the case. We got Rhythm, Folklore, Doll, and Prime Ribs. I don't fucking know, honestly, because Rhythm is the only one that kind of seems a little obvious to me, with Rhythm Heaven and Chorus Kids. I believe Chorus Kids was part of a rumor from like way back on Smash 4, and there was a, I'm not sure how true this is, but apparently there was a like files or like consideration for the Chorus Kids as well. So maybe the Chorus Kids, and if that's the case, I'm not gonna be excited because I've never really played Rhythm Heaven. But that would be cool to see a new franchise being represented. Hell, maybe I'll try out Rhythm Heaven if they get in. I don't know. Maybe they'll bring a new one. Who knows? It's hard to say. Folklore and Doll is interesting because Folklore, I can't really think of a character, but some people threw out the idea that it could be Amaterasu from Okami. If that's the case, that'll be cool. That'll be another third-party character, and I'd support that. Okami's another game I haven't played, and I know it's really good. Like, a lot of people have recommended it to me, so if I get the chance, I'll probably pick it up on Switch just to at least give it a shot. It's only $20 too, so it's not like I'm breaking the bank for it either. But if that's true, then yeah, he seems like a cool character. I like the art style, and I'm assuming there's a lot he can do as well. But I don't have much experience with him, so I can't say I'm going to be excited because I really don't know him. But I support it. I want to see new franchises be represented in some way, even if it's third party. So definitely want to see that as well. Doll. Okay, so here's the thing with Doll. A lot of people believe it's Geno from Super Mario RPG, which I know is like a really beloved character, and a lot of people really push for him. But I'm gonna be straight up honest with you guys. I don't understand why. So here's the thing. I have a similar mindset with Waluigi, where I don't necessarily understand why there's such a huge love for the character. I think Waluigi as a character is fun. He's a funny character in like Mario Tennis, for instance. But I don't think he's like this amazing character to be a fan of necessarily. So I don't really get it. And Geno, he has more of a personality because you get to know him in Super Mario RPG, so I can kind of understand that a bit more. But at the same time, me personally, I'm saying this personally, so don't fucking get your panties in a bunch about, oh my god, he hates my fucking favorite character. No, calm down. I don't understand what about Geno's personality really makes him that interesting. Now, mind you, maybe moveset wise he'll be cool, maybe that's why people are excited for it. If you're someone who's excited for Geno or is really supporting Geno to be in Smash, let me know in the comments what exactly pulls you to him, because I've played Super Mario RPG. Mind you, I haven't beaten it, but I've played it and I've got to know Geno, and I've got to play like a couple hours with Geno, and maybe it's something that happens later on, and there's something I don't know yet, and I should finish the game. And if that's the case, fine. I understand. But otherwise, as of right now, I don't really understand why the character is so beloved. And I know friends of mine who have also fully completed Super Mario RPG that don't understand why he has that love either. So I want to know from someone who does love the character and explain to me why he's so like important to you. Because I don't want to stay ignorant on that topic. If you love him, let me know why, and maybe I'll find some kind of like understanding for it. But until then, I'm pretty sure Doll is Geno, because I can't imagine anyone else. And if that's the case, that'll be cool. Second Square Enix character, and it'll be Geno. And if that's the case, I believe that would make every third party that's already part of Smash have 2 characters each. Mind you, I know Amaterasu is a third-party character too, but I can't remember off the top of my head what the publisher or who the developer is, so I can't say for sure which one is the one that has the third character. But I know he's an extra as well, so there's that as well. If we move on to the last one, Prime Ribs. Now, here's the thing about Prime Ribs, right? I don't think it's who we think it is, because a lot of people seem to think, looking it up, looking at other YouTubers and just checking out what everyone's saying online, a lot of people seem to think that because the word Prime is in it, it must be Metroid Prime. Now, I have a problem with that, because that is a very loose reason to call it Prime Ribs. You know what I mean? See, if you look at King, Ponytail, Old Man, Archer, Warrior, Secretary, Mech, Rhythm, like every other character, right? Doll, what was the other one? Folklore. If you look at every other character, you see that every codename has something to do with their character. Something to do with the character themselves. Not just share a word in common, but have something to do with the character. So, when I read Prime Ribs, just because the word Prime is in the word doesn't mean it's part of Metroid Prime. Now, that's what I think. So maybe I'm wrong, and obviously this is a rumor, this is a leak. There could be no reason to even think about it in the slightest, but fuck me, I don't understand the correlation between Prime Ribs and Metroid Prime, other than they share a word in common. You understand? It's kind of like, I don't understand. I just don't get it. I guess that's as simple as that. I don't get it, because I feel like if that's the case, you can link King with anything that with King in the title. If you understand, if you get what I mean. I don't really think that's a good reason. Now, if I go into the word Prime Ribs with the same mindset as the other code names, it's really hard to think of someone, because Prime Ribs is just food. It's something you eat. So who would have anything to do with that? The only thing that comes to mind would either be a game about eating, a game with eating as a central mechanic, or a character that eats this food, or eats it a lot. And the only thing that came to mind was Ninten for the first Mother game, or Earthbound Beginnings, because I believe his default favorite food was Prime Ribs. So it could be Ninten. Maybe as an Echo Fighter or something for NES. It wouldn't be too surprising to me, honestly. If that's the case, then I can kind of see that. If I'm thinking more in the sense of a game in general, and maybe fucking something about eating mechanic, I honestly have no fucking idea. It's either Ninten or no one in my mind, because I have no idea. And I'm not even sure it's Ninten. I'm not 100% sold on the idea that it's Ninten, but I don't know who else it could be. I mean, would it be Monster Hunter? I mean, Monster Hunter has like a mechanic that's all about eating and making food and all that, so maybe a Monster Hunter? But I think that's a loose connection, but at the same time, I think Ninten is a loose connection, but just one that's slightly more solidified. So it's really hard for me to say who it could be, but that's the one I'm stumped on the most. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, and it is Metroid Prime related, and it could be Dark Samus or Sylex or something, but that just seems like such a weird connection to make. But hey, that's what I think. But that's all the characters from the leak or rumor that was posted on 4chan. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that each of the codenames equal the character that I'm thinking of, or do you think it's someone else entirely? Let me know in the comments down below how you feel about it. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you guys think. Oh, and don't forget to let me know about Geno, because I still don't get it. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.